where are the aliens? And
taking UAPs seriously, recognizing them as potential threats to national security. The surge in UAP sightings and the subsequent official investigations underscore a growing commitment to understanding these phenomena. While many cases have been attributed to conventional explanations, the persistence of unexplained incidents continues to fuel public and governmental interest in the study of UAPs.
I asked you what question would you ask an AGI system once you create it, and you said what's outside the simulation is the question. And good question.
Yeah.
But it seems like with Grok, you started literally this system's goal is to be able to ask such questions, to answer such questions, and to ask such questions.
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
That's one of the Fermi paradox question. A lot of people have asked me if I've seen any evidence of aliens, and I haven't, which is kind of concerning, because then I think I'd probably prefer to at least have seen some archaeological evidence of aliens. To the best of my knowledge, there is no proof. I'm not aware of any evidence of aliens. If they're out there, they're very subtle. We might just be the only consciousness, at least in the galaxy. And if you look at, say, the history of Earth, if one is to believe the archaeological record, Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Civilization, as measured from the first writing, is only about 5,000 years old. We have to give some credit there to the ancient Sumerians, who aren't around anymore. I think it was the archaic pre-cuneiform was the first actual symbolic representation.
The U.S. government's approach to unidentified aerial phenomena UAPs has been characterized by significant secrecy, raising concerns about accountability and transparency. Former officials, such as Luis Elizondo, have testified that excessive confidentiality has led to misconduct against dedicated civil servants and the public, all to conceal the reality that humanity is not alone in the cosmos. This sentiment was echoed by Dr. Tim Gallaudet, a retired Navy Rear Admiral, who emphasized the moral imperative for greater transparency, highlighting that UAPs represent a new realization that we are not the only intelligent beings in the universe. In response to these concerns, the House Oversight and Accountability Committee has intensified its investigation into UAPs, aiming to compel the Pentagon to disclose more information. Lawmakers have expressed frustration over the lack of new information regarding whistleblower David Grush's allegations, underscoring the need for greater transparency. Additionally, the Senate has proposed legislation to declassify government records related to UAPs, reflecting a bipartisan effort to ensure that the public is informed about these phenomena. Despite these legislative efforts, the Pentagon has maintained a stance of limited disclosure, citing national security concerns. This has led to ongoing debates about the balance between protecting sensitive information and upholding democratic principles of transparency and accountability. The continued calls for openness underscore the public's demand for clarity on UAPs and the government's role in investigating them. As the discourse surrounding UAPs evolves, it is evident that the tension between government secrecy and the public's right to know remains a pivotal issue. The outcomes of ongoing hearings and proposed legislation will likely shape the future of UAP investigations and the extent of government transparency in this domain.
I think that what the American people need to know is that the U.S. military and intelligence community are sitting on a huge amount of visual and other information, still photos, video photos, other sensor information, and they have for a very long time. And it's not those fuzzy photos and videos that we've been given. There's very clear
high
images, high resolution.
How many visuals, graphics, videos, photos?
I mean, I've been told hundreds, maybe thousands. I mean, I also wanted to say, because there was some conversation around concern around the revealing of these materials, revealing the source collections, but some of these are shot from helicopters.
If these technologies are not made by any government, who's making them? Private companies, or are you implying they are crafted by a non-human intelligence?
Well, ma'am, that's precisely why we're here. The problem is that, temporally speaking, over decades, not just the last 10 years, to put this in perspective,
are these private companies you're implying, or is this non-human intelligence?
It may be both.
Okay.
When it comes to Blue Force Technologies, I would not be able to discuss.
Okay. Are you read into secret UAP crash retrieval programs?
We would have to have a conversation in a closed session, ma'am. I signed documentation 3 years ago that restricts my ability to discuss specifically crash retrievals. I submitted for my book through the DOPSR process, which took a year for it to be reviewed. And what is in the book is what I was told I'm allowed to talk about.
In recent years, the U.S. government has taken significant steps to enhance transparency and accountability regarding unidentified aerial phenomena UAPs. A pivotal development was the passage of the National Defense Authorization Act (NDAA) for fiscal year 2023, which included the UAP Disclosure Act of 2023. This legislation mandates the establishment of a permanent office within the Department of Defense dedicated to the investigation and analysis of UAPs, aiming to ensure consistent and thorough reporting. To further protect individuals reporting UAPs, the Safe Airspace for Americans Act was introduced in the House of Representatives. This bill seeks to create a secure reporting channel for pilots and other aviation personnel, safeguarding them from potential reprisals. Brian Graves, a former U.S. Navy fighter pilot, emphasized that such measures would close the gap between UAP sightings and national security channels, ensuring that reports are taken seriously and investigated appropriately. These legislative actions reflect a growing commitment to addressing UAP-related issues with greater transparency and accountability. By establishing dedicated offices and protective measures for reporters, the government aims to foster an environment where UAP phenomena can be studied and understood without fear of reprisal. As these initiatives progress, they are expected to contribute to a more comprehensive understanding of UAPs and their implications for national security and public safety.
Down there, but once we started flying off the boat, about 1,500 miles or so south of Virginia Beach, there they were again, and it was in my squadron again when the video that's known as the gimbal video now, when that was recorded when we were on that workup cycle out in Jacksonville.
We should play the gimbal video. Jamie, will you please pull that up? Because I want you to kind of give us an understanding from your own expertise, like your technical understanding of what we're looking at.
Yeah. So this is
here. It
FLIR.
is this? So this is FLIR footage.
Yep. So this is when I say FLIR, this is what I'm referring to, and right in the middle of the top of the screen you see IR, infrared. So that's that infrared mode where we're seeing heat right now. We are in black hot, so that means objects that are darker are hotter. So this object right in the middle is putting heat out.
And right now it appears to be rotating. Is that what it was doing there?
Yeah, exactly. So we do see this object rotate. I mean, it looks like a gimbal. That's why it's called it, I think. I didn't name it. But we see the object essentially rotate from what looks like a horizontal position here. Those lines above it represent the horizon, so it's essentially parallel. There it goes.
And it's hard to make out the shape of this thing, but it seems almost like a disc with like a crown on the top and the bottom.
Yeah, kind of like it looks like almost like a little bit of energy coming out from the poles there, if you will.
In recent years, the U.S. military has reported numerous encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena UAPs, previously known as UFOs. These incidents have raised significant concerns regarding national security and the potential technological capabilities of these objects. In 2023, former military pilots and intelligence officials testified before Congress, asserting that UAPs present a clear threat to U.S. national security. They described encounters with objects exhibiting flight characteristics beyond current human technology, such as sudden acceleration and high-speed maneuvers. The Department of Defense (DoD) has acknowledged these concerns by establishing the Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena UAP Office, tasked with investigating and analyzing UAP reports. This initiative aims to standardize the collection and reporting of UAP sightings across military and intelligence agencies. Despite these efforts, some former officials have claimed that the government possesses non-human technology and biological samples from UAPs. Luis Elizondo, a former senior intelligence official for the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, has suggested that the U.S. has recovered objects and vehicles of unknown, non-human origin, including one from the 1947 Roswell incident. In response to these claims, the Pentagon has denied the existence of secret programs related to UAPs, such as the alleged Immaculate Constellation program. Department of Defense spokespersons have stated that all relevant programs have been duly reported to Congress. The ongoing investigations and testimonies underscore the need for transparency and accountability in addressing UAP encounters. As the DoD continues its efforts to understand these phenomena, the implications for national security and technological advancement remain a topic of significant interest and concern.
There was recently a House Intelligence Subcommittee hearing on UFOs that you were a part of. What was the goal of that hearing, and can you maybe summarize what you heard?
the hearings, from my perspective, seemed a bit disingenuous, kind of top level. I think.
Who was it run by? Sorry to interrupt. Like, who were the people involved, and what was the goal, the stated goal?
Congressman Andre Carson did chair the committee, and he was, I think, ultimately responsible for bringing it all together. I think the intent from Congress was to try to bring light to what has been happening with the Navy and to help show the American people that Congress is taking this serious because something serious is happening. But, the sense I got seemed a bit disingenuous. They talked around it a lot. They, advertised their love of science fiction. But they didn't treat this, I would say, in the manner it deserved as a potential tactical threat if it's coming from a foreign power. And I get it, though. At the same day, they have very specific objectives within the DoD, right? They have a very important job. Their job isn't necessarily to do exploratory science for no reason. So I applaud and I encourage their efforts on the intelligence side to help understand this. But my concern is that they play a role they're not well suited for, which is doing science.
The quest to discover extraterrestrial life has intensified in recent years, propelled by advancements in technology and a deeper understanding of the cosmos. In 2025, the James Webb Space Telescope JWST is poised to play a pivotal role in this endeavor. Launched in 2021, the JWST has already provided astronomers with unprecedented views of distant cosmic objects and rocky exoplanets with inhabitable zones. These zones are areas where conditions might support liquid water, a key ingredient for life. The JWST has identified Earth-sized planets around the star TRAPPIST-1, located 40 light-years away, and has revealed potential signs of carbon dioxide and methane in the atmosphere of K2-18 billion, a planet 124 light-years away, indicating another potential source of life. On Mars, recent studies have identified Acidalia planitia as a region that could potentially support life due to its favorable subsurface conditions with water, heat, and energy. This discovery focuses on methanogens, methane-producing bacteria that thrive in extreme environments. The suspected life-sustaining zone lies 2.6 to 5.46 miles beneath Mars' surface, where groundwater and geothermal heat produced by radioactive decay could create a hospitable environment, with temperatures between 35 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Although the European Space Agency's ESA-planned Rosalind Franklin rover in 2028 can only drill 7 feet deep, not enough to reach this zone, the findings could settle a major debate about Mars' chemical makeup and provide evidence for biologically generated methane. In the realm of space exploration, the European Space Agency ESA launched the Proba 3 mission on December 5, 2024, aboard the Indian Space Research Organization's ISRO PSLV-XL rocket. This mission aims to enhance understanding of the economic and technological risks posed by space weather. Proba 3, a 2-satellite system developed over a decade, is designed for a 2-year operational life. The mission advances ESA's solar research capabilities, complementing its solar orbiter, and seeks to study the Sun's inner corona, particularly coronal mass ejections and solar wind origins. At a cost of approximately EUR 2000 the project involves over 40 European companies. ESA chose ISRO's rocket for its cost-effectiveness and performance, amidst ESA's launch program delays and strained access to Russia's Soyuz rockets due to geopolitical issues. The launch from the Satish Dhawan Space Center builds on ISRO's recent successes, including the Chandrayaan-3 lunar landing and its Aditya L1 solar observatory. In the United States, President-elect Donald Trump has nominated billionaire Jared Isaacman, known for commanding SpaceX missions and his partnership with Elon Musk, to lead NASA. Isaacman, the current CEO of Shift4 Payments, has a background in pioneering private space missions through SpaceX. His leadership is expected to drive bold initiatives in lunar and Martian exploration while enhancing public-private collaboration in space innovation. These developments underscore a period of significant progress in the search for alien life and the advancement of space exploration technologies. As missions like Proba 3 and the JWST continue to provide valuable data, and with leadership changes at NASA, the coming years hold promise for groundbreaking discoveries and innovations in our understanding of the universe.
My administration is reclaiming America's heritage as the world's greatest spacefaring nation. The essence of the American character is to explore new horizons and to tame new frontiers. But our destiny beyond the Earth is not only a matter of national identity, but a matter of national security. So important for our military, So important, and people don't talk about it. When it comes to defending America, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. So important. Very importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the sixth branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal. It is going to be something so important. General Dunford, if you would carry that assignment out, I would be very greatly honored also. Where's General Dunford?
In recent years, the U.S. government's approach to unidentified anomalous phenomena UAPs has faced increasing scrutiny, with calls for greater transparency and accountability. Former officials have testified before Congress, alleging that the government possesses extensive information on UAPs that remains classified. Luis Elizondo, a former Pentagon official, stated that excessive secrecy has led to grave misdeeds against loyal civil servants, military personnel, and the public in efforts to conceal the reality of UAPs. In November 2024, the House Oversight and Accountability Committee held a hearing titled Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Exposing the Truth, where witnesses testified about alleged secret government programs related to UAP. Michael Schellenberger, an investigative journalist, presented a report suggesting the existence of a clandestine Pentagon program called Immaculate Constellation that documents UAPs. The National Archives and Records Administration (NARA) has been tasked with establishing a collection of UAP-related records. The Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Disclosure Act mandates that NARA compile all government records concerning UAPs, technologies of unknown origin, and non-human intelligence. This initiative aims to centralize and eventually declassify UAP information, promoting transparency. Despite these efforts, concerns persist about the government's commitment to full disclosure. Witnesses at the November hearing emphasized the need for more openness and less stigma surrounding UAPs. They argued that continued secrecy hinders scientific inquiry and public understanding of these phenomena. In response to these concerns, some lawmakers have proposed reforms to enhance oversight and accountability. Recommendations include establishing proper oversight of UAP programs, inviting briefings from relevant agencies, and ensuring that UAP-related information is accessible to the public. The debate over government secrecy and UAP oversight continues to evolve, with ongoing discussions about balancing national security interests with the public's right to know. As investigations and hearings progress, the push for greater transparency in UAP matters remains a significant issue in U.S. politics.